given like plus and minus a 100 voltage source. If this is the problem is given, like this is 5 ohm resistor, this is 10 ohm resistor, this is 20 ohm resistor. If the problem is given like this, and if he ask the voltage drop across resistor 5 ohm, V2 and V3, how to calculate? So the problem is asking about V1, V2 and V3. So these are very, very basics. Once if you understand these basics, the remaining things are very easy. So please follow these things carefully. Yeah. Suppose if you take the circuit, how many branch elements are there in the circuit? Please, anyone can respond. How many branch elements are there in the circuit? How many branch elements?
4, sir.
Very good. 4 branches are there. Here I want to calculate V1, V2, V3. Voltage drops. So one is voltage source, 100 volt source is the voltage source. And this is 5 ohm resistor, 10 ohm resistor and 20 ohm resistor. These are the resistors. And the circuit is closed. When the circuit is closed, if the current is flowing through all these resistors, and you know this voltage source can deliver the current I, and that current is depending upon the loads, these resistors. Okay, let us imagine unknown current is I. I is flowing in the clockwise direction. I is flowing in the clockwise direction. So wait for 1 minute, Amma. Let us wait for 1 minute. Yeah, see. So we don't know the current. Current is observed by these load resistive elements here. According to Ohm's law, we know the formula. Simply multiplication of resistance into current here. Here also multiplication of resistance into current. Here also multiplication of resistance in current. But this R1 value is depending upon the resistive element. Suppose if you take a V1, voltage potential difference across the 5 ohm resistor. So we have to substitute R value equal to 5 into 5. Likewise, V2 is the voltage drop across resistor 10 ohm. So we should take the R value as 10 into I. So such that we can also write the V3 value, that is 20 into I. So these are the voltage drops across each and every resistors. So to calculate the voltages across each and every resistors, we should know the value of current in this circuit. To know the current here, we have to apply a KVL in this circuit. So by using the, am I audible, Amma? Please respond.
Yes, sir, audible.
Yeah, by using the KVL in the circuit. Now for the source, they will give the voltages, polarities also. This is plus and this is minus. I already said that when the current is flowing through a particular resistor, I is flowing through the particular resistor, and the resistance value is R. If V is the voltage drop across this resistor, and how to give the polarities? We know there are polarities for the voltage sources. How to give these polarities here? To give such polarities, we have to observe the current direction. So it has two terminals and voltage drop having the polarities plus and minus like that. And if the current is entering initially at this particular point, so for that you have to give plus polarity, plus and minus. Okay, suppose if you take another resistor, which is R1, now current is flowing in this direction. For a load element, if you want to give the polarities, as the current is flowing in this direction, the polarity should be given like this. V, which is plus and minus. We should give the polarities for voltage drop across the resistors. They won't give the polarities actually. In the problem, they won't give the polarities of the potential difference across the resistor. We should give, as this is a load element, as this is a which element? Load element. We will discuss what is my load element and source element later. For the time being, understand that this is a load element. This is voltage V1 here. If it is a voltage V1, how should I give this polarity as the current is flowing in the clockwise direction? Initially, these are the two polarities of this branch element. Which should I give the sign for this V1 here? As the current is entering. Please respond now. Which sign should I give plus for V1 as the current is entering at this point? Are you getting me or not? Yeah, positive.
Yes, I'm getting.
Here also, as the circuit is series circuit, so this is a voltage drop. For this also, I should give plus and minus. As the current is flowing in this fashion also, this is also plus and minus. Now, how many voltages are there? One voltage source and three voltage drops are there. Okay, na? One voltage source and three voltage drops. Now, we already assumed that the current is in the clockwise direction. The current is flowing in the clockwise direction, I. So I gave some sign notations while writing the KVL equation. The current is entering initially at a particular polarity, and we should give that polarity for a particular voltage here. Okay. Now I am writing all. What is the KVL here? Algebraic sum of all voltages. Algebraic sum of all voltages around any closed loop is equal to 0. How many voltages are there in this? 4 voltages are there. So current is entering at initially negative polarity of this source. So that I should give minus 100 volts. V is for voltage only. Okay, don't write V again. 100. Next, where the current is entering initially for V1, positive or negative? Positive. V1. Next again positive. Current is entering at positive. V2. And again current is entering at positive of V3 plus V3. So all voltages are completed. So algebraic sum of all voltages around a closed loop is equal to 0. Okay, na? Anybody have any doubts in this equation? If anybody have any doubt, you can raise your hand, please, because this is basic equation. You can solve the problem only when you are able to write these KVL equations. Let me know if anybody have any doubts in this equation. Gautam 187, please respond, Gautam. Gautam is not responding. 148, I will go absent for you, Gautam. 148, Dhanasri. In 148, 184. Are you there or not? Please. 184. Others 147. 113.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, do you have any doubts in this while writing the KVL?
No, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So some of the students are not responding. From the next class onwards, I will treat those people as an absent. From the next class onwards, those who won't respond for the call, I won't give the attendance. Right? Now, according to the Ohm's law, minus 100 plus what is the V1 according to Ohm's law? I into R. Current I is I only, unknown current, and R is how much? 5. 5 into 5 into which current I have to write? I plus what is the V2? V into IR. R is 10, I is current. So 10 into I plus what is the V3? V3 value is how much? 20 into I, which is equal to 0. So finally, what is the value of I here? Unknown value current I. 10I plus 20, 30I plus 35I. So 35I equal to 100. From this, so tell me the I value. I equal to 100 by 35 amperes. Okay. Now, once if you get I value, what is the approximate value? 100 by 35 means 2.85, approximately 2.857 amperes. This is the current which is flowing in this circuit is equal to 2.857. Once if you get the current here, and we know voltage drop across V1, simply 5 into I. Substitute the I value and you can calculate the voltage drop across resistor R1. Please, all of you find the V1, V2, V3 values here. If anybody having any doubts, you can ask here. What is the V1 value? Shravan 188. 188 Shravan. Please tell me the V1 value here. All of you note down that problem. What is the V1 value? Are you doing or not? Dikshita's here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me the V1, V2, V3 values.
5.718, sir.
Wait. So V1 equal to, how to calculate the V1? V1 equal to 5 into 2.857. So which is equal to how much?
$14.357.
Very good. 14.35, 5 volts. This is the voltage drop.
375.
37. Okay. So likewise, calculate the V2 amma. V2 and V3. So V2 equal to, so 10 into that I value, 2.85, and V3 equal to 20 into 2.857. So tell me those values V1, V2, V3. I hope you are able to follow these things here. If anybody have any doubts, you can ask, because these are the basics. If you aren't able to follow these basics, the remaining things are very tough. So that is the reason why I am teaching step by step here. Yeah, what is the V2 value?
28.57.
28.57. Next, V3?
57.14.
57.14 volts. So these are the voltage drops. That much of the voltage is drop available, or that voltage drop is occurs across 5 ohm resistor, 10 ohm resistor, and 20 ohm resistor. Okay? So such that they will ask the questions. Calculate the voltages across these resistors or current. This is a very simple circuit. Very simple circuit. The circuit may be complex. Suppose if I add another loop for this circuit, then the things will be vertical different. This is the basic problem. If anybody have any doubts, you can ask. Simple application of KVL and Ohm's law in this problem. Yeah, in the previous class we discussed one problem. In that problem, see, sometimes they will give polarities itself. Likewise, they will give this is plus and this is minus V3. They want to calculate with these polarities. So at that time, you have to calculate. We know already V3 value 57.14. Once we get 57.14, with these polarities we have calculated. But with these polarities, if you want to tell the answer, then tell me. Suppose he is asking about with these polarities, what may be the V3 value? V3 value value will be same. Listen carefully. 57.14 only, but the polarity should be reverse. That will be minus. Are you getting me or not? As these polarities are interchanged in the question, so we have to particular answer will be same, but it should include minus sign. Okay, na? This is about the problem on KVL and Ohm's law. KVL and Ohm's law. None of you understood? If anybody have any doubts, you can ask. Okay. So let us solve another problem. Problem is plus minus. This is a voltage source. Let me give a text problem. Okay. So there is a 50 volts source is here. 50 volts. Note down, all of you note down this problem. Try to solve this problem. 5 ohm resistor. This is 10 ohm resistor. Again, this is a 5 ohm resistor. Okay. Now let us see this problem clearly. What is the current values of I3, I2 and I1? Current values of I1, I2, I3 in the circuit, and voltage drops across resistor V1 and V2, V3. This is the problem he has given. How to solve this problem? All of you listen carefully here. If you want to calculate the current, this is not what you call a simple circuit, because this 5 ohm branch is connected to this one also. So how to solve this problem? You have to use KCL, KVL and Ohm's law for this given problem. And this is the current I1 here, I2 here and I3 here. Okay, and I3 current is flowing through the 5 ohm resistor, I2 current is flowing through the V2 resistor, and I1 is current is flowing through the 5 ohm resistor. V2 is the voltage drop across the 10 ohm resistor, and V1 is the voltage drop across 5 ohm resistor, and V3 is the voltage drop across 5 ohm resistor. So how to solve this problem here? Okay, so to solve this problem, see, first of all tell me how many loops are there in the circuit? Please respond. How many loops are there in the circuit? Hello?
3 loops, sir.
Yeah. So actually 3 loops, but you can write the KVL for this loop 1, and this is loop 2. And this is also another loop. No need to write the KVL for this loop. Okay, now? So I'm going to write the first KCL at this node. KCL at this node 1 అనుకోండి. Node 1. At node 1 by using KCL, Kirchhoff current law. Cheptarama, based on this current direction given in this problem, tell me the KCL equation at node 1. How many currents are there? First of all, 3 currents are there. There are 3 currents. Tell me the KCL equation at node 1. Anyone from the class? Please respond, Amma. Anyone from the class, please. What chapter KCL equation? One 64 Maheshwari.
Sir,
Yeah, can you tell me the KCL equation at the node 1? Already చెప్పాను
I1
కదా.
minus I2 is equals to 0.
Very good. I1 minus
I2
I2. Only 2 currents
is
are there.
equals to 0. Is it? No, sir, 3.
3 current should include that current also. I3 current is also there, but is it entering current or leaving current?
Leaving current, sir, minus I3.
Very good. Minus, for leaving you should give minus sign, which should be equal to 0. That is, let us say, equation 1. Okay, na? Now this is equation 1 by KCL. Now this is loop 1 L1, let us say L1 and L2. So in L2, in loop L1 by using KVL. What is the KVL? Algebraic sum of all voltages around a closed loop equal to 0. Okay, na? Algebraic sum of all voltages around a closed loop is equal to 0. Now this is 1 voltage source. I am going to write this KVL equation in this loop only. Don't confuse here. For this loop, how many elements are connected? One is 50 volt source, another one is 5 ohm resistor, another one is 10 ohm resistor. So this is one loop. And this 5 ohm resistor is not connected to this loop 1. It is connected to loop 2. So you should not consider this 5 ohm resistor. So one voltage source and two voltage drops across these resistors. Okay, now, so what is the rule we should follow here? Current is flowing in clockwise direction. Before that, we should give polarities for this voltage V1. So as the current is flowing in this direction, what is the polarities should I give for this V1? What are the polarities should I give for this V1? చెప్తారమ్మా V1 కి ఏ పొలారిటీస్ ఇవ్వాలి? ఇనిషియల్ గా కరెంట్ ఇక్కడ ఎంటర్ అవుతుంది కదా, స్టార్టింగ్ లో ఏ పొలారిటీ ఇవ్వాలి? Which polarity should I give for this V1 voltage drop across 5 ohm resistor? చేసాం కదా, the current is entering at starting. For this voltage, which sign should I give?
Positive, sir.
Yeah, very good. This is positive and this is positive. And for V2 also, current is flowing in this direction, plus and minus, because I2 current is flowing. Okay, now write the KVL. Yeah, now current is clockwise direction. Current is entering at the negative polarity. Then give minus 50. Next, current is entering at positive polarities for V1. Give plus V1. And current is flowing in this direction and it is entering at the positive polarity because clockwise direction. Then it will be plus V2 should be equal to 0. That is equation number 2. Okay. But what is the V1 here? చెప్తారమ్మా నాకు V1 value in terms of unknown current I1 and 5 ohm resistor according to Ohm's law. According to Ohm's law, what is the V1 value? Which current is flowing through the 5 ohm resistor?
I1.
Very good. So minus 50 plus 5 into I1 plus what is the V2? Which current is flowing through the 10 ohm resistor? Which current? I2 current is flowing
I2,
through
sir.
this. So 10 into I2, which is equal to 0. This is equation number 2 1 point after substituting Ohm's law. So this V1 equal to 5 into I1 from Ohm's law because V equal to R into I. So now come to this loop. Come to this loop. And in this loop is consisting of how many branch elements? ఈ loop లో ఎన్ని branch elements ఉన్నాయమ్మా? One is 5 ohm resistor and another one is, please tell me. So suppose if I take this loop separately, ఎన్ని branch elements ఉన్నాయమ్మా దీంట్లో? One,
2 branch, sir.
2 branch elements కదా. సో కరెంట్ ఎలా ఫ్లో అవుతుంది కాబట్టి ఇది V3 పొలారిటీస్ ఎలా ఇస్తారు? ప్లస్ అండ్ మైనస్. Which current is flowing here? I3 current is flowing. We have to write the KVL equation only in this loop, but we should follow the sign convention. As the current is flowing at this terminal, at which polarity amma? For the V2, initially where it is entering, where the current is entering, at which polarity?
Minus.
Minus V2. Very good. Minus V2. For this V3, where the current is entering, if you imagine the current is in clockwise direction, we are moving in this fashion. Where the current is entering at, is it positive polarity or negative polarity? At positive polarity is it entering because we are following it clockwise notation. So plus V3 equal to 0. Only 2 voltages are there. So this is by using KVL. by using KVL in the loop 2. In loop 2. Now tell me the V2 value here. What is the V2 value? Minus. What is the V2 value? V equal to R into I. 10 into what is the I value? I2. Next, what is the V3 value?
5I3.
5 into I. Subscript 3 na? 3 means I3 current. 5 into I3 equal to 0. This is equation number 3. So how many equations are there here? Equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. All of you note down these equations. I will give 5 minutes of time. ఈ ఈక్వేషన్స్ నోట్ చేసుకోండమ్మా. ఏమైనా డౌట్స్ ఉంటే అడగండి. Completed? Are you noting this problem?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, please note down, and after note down this problem, see we have how many equations here? 3 equations. Equation 1, equation 2 and equation 3. And how many unknowns are there? 3 unknowns. 3 equations and 3 unknowns. Okay, you can solve these equations very easily. So how to solve this equation? From equation 2 or from this equation, this implies 5I3 equal to 10 into I2, which implies I3 equal to how much, Amma? 2 into I2. What is I3? 2 into I2. So let us say this is equation 4. Only solving equation 1, 2, 3 will get the solution. Next, from equation 2, from 2 implies 5 into I1 plus 10 into I2, which is equal to 50. Okay, this is equation in terms of I1 and I2. Let us say this equation number 5. Now from equation 1, from equation 1, from 1 implies చెప్తారా I1 equal to I2 plus I3. What is the I3 value from 4? I2 plus 2 into I2, which is equal to 3 into I1 equal to how much? 3 into I2. Okay? So let us say this is equation number 6. From 6 and 5, from 6 and 5, substitute I1 value here. Substitute I1 value. You will get the I2. After getting I2, get the I1 and I3 also. Solution చేసి చెప్పండి మనం. What is the I2 value? $2112 Ramya.
Yes, sir.
I2 value ఎంతమ్మా క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేశారా?
చేస్తున్నాను.
చేయండి. Make it fast.
Sir, from equation 2, 5I1 plus 10I2 equal to 50 కదా sir?
Sorry?
From equation 2 sir, 5I1 plus 10I2 equal to 50 కదా?
అవును.
Equation 5 sir.
అవునవును. 5I1 10I2 equal to 59.
అప్పుడు I2 2 అవుతుంది.
I2 ఎంతమ్మా?
2.
I3 equal to
4.
I2 2, I3 4, sir.
I3 4 sir.
I3 4 amperes. I2?
2.
2, sir.
I2 2 amperes. I3
I1
4
6.
I1 how many amperes?
6.
6. Yeah, 6 amperes. See here. చూడండి ఇక్కడ KCL మనకి సాటిస్ఫై అవుతుంది చూడండి. ఇక్కడ ఎంత ఈ సోర్స్ నుంచి మనకి ఎంత కరెంట్ వస్తున్నాం ఇక్కడ? We are getting source current of how many amperes? I1 6 కదా. ఇక్కడ 6 amperes. ఈ 6 amperes కరెంట్ ఇక్కడ డివైడ్ అవుతుంది ఎందుకంటే బికాస్ ప్యారలల్ బ్రాంచ్ దగ్గర మనకి కరెంట్ డివిజన్ అవుతుంది. అది మనం తర్వాత డిస్కస్ చేస్తాము. సో ఇన్ this current is divided into I3 4 amperes. ఇదేమో 4 amperes కి ఇక్కడ డివైడ్ అవుతుంది. ఇక్కడేమో 2 amperes గా డివైడ్ అవుతుంది కదా. సో 6 amperes current is divided into 2 amperes and 4 amperes. KCL కూడా సాటిస్ఫై అయింది కదా ఇక్కడ. 6 equal to 4 plus 2. Entering current equal to leaving current. 6 current is entering and 2 is flowing in downward through 10 ohm and 4 ampere current is flowing through 5 ohm. Based on the resistance value, the current is going to be proportionality share అన్నమాట. So current can divide in parallel branches. ఈ రెండు 10 ohm resistor, 5 ohm resistor రెండు parallel గా ఉంది కదా. Otherwise let me take another one and let me discuss very clearly. Plus minus the 50 volt source, the 5 ohm resistor, the 10 ohm resistor. Here again 5 ohm resistor is there, and we don't know currents actually. By using the KCL KVL ohms law, we calculated the current through this from the source. How much current is coming, amma? Please respond. Source నుంచి ఎంత కరెంట్ వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ based on these elements? 6 amperes. Same 6 amperes current is coming to here, and at this there are two parallel resistors. The parallel resistor current is dividing. So how much current is flowing through the 10 ohm after calculating? 2 ampere. ఇక్కడ ఎంత current flow అవుతుంది? 4 amperes. So these 6, 4 and 2. Previously these were unknown currents. So this is I1, I2 and I3 currents are unknown. We calculated by using KCL, KVL and Ohm's law. Okay, na? At this node current is dividing. Now our task is calculate voltage drop across 5 ohm resistor, voltage drop across 10 ohm resistor, voltage drop across again this 5 ohm resistor. ఈ 5 ohm resistor దగ్గర voltage drop ఎంత అమ్మా చెప్తారా? R into I కదా. What is the R value? 5. And what is the current here? I1 current. ఎంత వస్తుందమ్మా? 6. 5 into 6 30 volts. Okay. అట్లనే V3 10 ohm resistor, R into 10 ohm resistor 2. How much voltage is there? 10 into 2 20 volts. Here 5 ohm resistor. Resistor value is 5. Current is 4. ఎంత వస్తుందమ్మా? So these are the V1, V2 and V3 values. So anybody have any doubts, you can ask me. Hello? Are you getting me or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Note down this. So let me give another problem and take that problem. I will give 5 minutes of time. Meanwhile, I will take the attendance, try to solve that problem. All of you got the answers here? New problem here. A 200 volt source is there. Four ohm resistor is there. (24 ohm resistor is there. (8 ohm resistor is there. This is a practice problem. Calculate branch currents. So they won't give I1, I2, I3. We have to assign the currents. They won't give I1, I2, I3. This is your wish. I1, I2, I3. I1, I2, I3. And V2. V2. Calculate I1, I2, I3 and V2. ట్రై చేయండి. ట్రై టు సాల్వ్ దిస్ ప్రాబ్లం. బాబు పవన్ కళ్యాణ్ ఉన్నావా? 154. పవన్ కళ్యాణ్